All right. My first mosh pit ever was at Warped Tour, I think, in like, it was a real fucking long time ago, 99 or 2000. And I was big into like punk rock and ska and on the fringe of some hardcore music. But we went to this Trustkill Records tent and we talked to this guy, Carl, who was the singer of Nora at the time. He's like, oh, come check out my band. It was, we're playing on this stage, blah, 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 blah. We went over there, me and my buddy from, I used to play hockey with, and all of a sudden we're standing at the front of the stage like innocent, like 11, 12-year-olds, and this band Nora comes on, and all of a sudden we just get fucking destroyed. And like, I'm just like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened? Like, not used to that at all. And like ran and just like, I remember being freaked out by that band for like the next 2 years.
That's a good one. That's a real good one. Cool.
Yeah.
So I think my worst mosh pit story ever is I was actually playing, and it was what I saw. So we were playing in Seattle, and first time I ever played Seattle, and the crowd was going crazy. It was so awesome. And we're just jamming middle of the set, probably 3 songs in, and I see this girl super psyched, like she's right up front going nuts. She ended up disappearing to the back, I guess getting up and crowd surfing, but there was no security guards anywhere. So homegirl gets all the way up front, like super psyched, like yelling at Justin, this and that, and then just drops onto the all the monitors up front. And I'm talking, we were playing, and we are a loud metal band, and I heard her just hit the monitors, and no joke, she just got up, jumped right back into the crowd, and just kept going. It was pretty ridiculous. That was probably the worst thing I've ever seen.
I think this could be the best, worst, and dumbest mosh story ever. We had a show in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and before the show I posted in the Facebook event, if someone pits with a taco, I don't remember what we said, we'd give them a shirt, or yeah, something like that. Anyway, like 4 or 5 kids showed up with tacos, and yeah, they were just getting like thrown around and eaten. It was cool.
This was from a long time ago. Foundation was playing one of my friend's houses in Virginia, and I got naked and moshed and then fractured my foot about 2 seconds into the whole thing, and it sucked. I don't do that shit anymore for good reason.
I think the craziest mosh pit I've ever seen was when we played in Detroit at this thing called Don't Call It a Fest. It was 2015, I guess. And right off the bat, we like rang out and kids were lighting off bottle rockets and like firecrackers, and it was like people literally like murdering each other. It was really a sight to see. Then at the end of the set, one of our friends we had these like carved pumpkins that we had on the stage with glass candles in them, and this dude just picked up the pumpkins and threw them into the crowd. Luckily nobody was hurt, but it was definitely insane to watch.
Okay, so I guess my best mosh pit experience or story was my first mosh pit experience and story. And this is going to be really obvious, I'm sure, to a lot of you, but Dillinger Escape Plan, best mosh pit in the universe. And I was pretty young when I first saw them. I think it was like 17. I'm 32 now, so I'm kind of an old guy, but I didn't know what to expect. And as soon as Dillinger exploded, it was at this place called the Knitting Factory, by the way, in New York. It's really, really tiny. I don't even know if it exists anymore. But they literally just came out like lightning. Like, it was like, I got kicked in the face by Ben. Like, I'm sure like everybody who's seen Dillinger has been kicked in the face by that guy.
You haven't seen him unless you're taking it.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of go to a Dillinger show hoping that something bad happens to you, because they're the most dangerous band in metal.
I'm going to copy Jake here. I'm going to have you copy Jake, because my first mosh pit experience was also my best. And this dates back to 2000? So 16 years ago, and I was 18 at the time, and I was living in Spain. I was living in southern Spain, and this place called Cadiz. That's a province called Cadiz, and no bands tour down there. No bands. And out of nowhere, we see an advertisement for. It was like a week out. It was like Judas Priest was going to come play in Cadiz in a bull ring. Like in a bull ring in Spain, and we're like, okay, this is gonna happen. It's gonna be the best show ever, because we hadn't been to a show in years. Nobody ever came down there, and so we show up way early, and the bull ring is like on the beach, and so we all buy like 3 40s each, and like, you know, just total scumbags hanging on the beach, and we slam several 40s each, and then we go in, and as we're entering, Judas Priest starts playing. It's like out of a movie. It's like Detroit Rock City or something like that. And we just, you know, a bunch of like 9 or 10 obnoxious Americans in Spain pushed forward to the front, and it was amazing. And like the sort of camaraderie, because you had old guys there, you had young guys, you had Spaniards who don't even speak English, people who even like heavy metal because they never get shows down there. Show up, and like everyone arms around each other, you know, beer spilling, and just like, it's awesome. Like we made so many friends that night. And yeah, it was great. And Judas Priest is like one of my favorite bands, so it was very, very cool to see them. And yeah, that was my first and best mosh pit experience.